All right. Hello, welcome to the 2016 budget meeting of the National Chimney Sweep Guild. I'm your host, Jeremy Biswell. This is the board of directors. All right, so let's go ahead and do a call to order. And we got a roll call. Greg Boss is our typical secretary. He is taking a gas class through the CSIA in the next room over. This is kind of a remote room. That's why it might look a little funny on the video. So I'm going to have Tom do a roll call, and we'll help Tom through it.
Okay, thank you. Present for the meeting, Mike Elliott. Here. Ed Ridgway. Here. Ron Rust. Here. Jeff Kiefer. Here. Jasper is on his way. Bob Ferrara is out.
Bob Ferrari's out, but we're going to call him in and see if we can get a hold of him for his report.
Stuart.
Same thing with Stuart. Stuart's out, but we're going to call him in for his report. See if we can get a hold of him.
Jeremy.
Hey, I'm here.
Yeah. Good. Absolutely. And what was your name?
Dennis.
Dennis. Yes.
Is Tom here?
Yeah, and I'm here.
Tom's here. Okay, good. Then we have.
All right.
Then I think we got everybody. Jasper. Everybody. Yeah, we got Greg. Greg's, like I said, Greg's at a room over, and he'll pop in. So basically, and then I know it sounds like as guests, so far we probably have Jay Walker, because he was asking me about calling in, and Diane Pilcher, ex officio. So who's up there? You got the minutes rocking. So you're doing.
Yes,
Cool. All right. So moving on, approval of February 17th, 2015 minutes. Any discussion? Everybody got a copy of that in front of them?
I'd be happy to make a motion to accept as presented.
So we have a motion by Ron Rudd. We have a second by Dennis Dobbs. Any disapproval on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. We have that. Moving on. Move on to the president's report as submitted by me. We'll pick that up and we'll read through it. So my president's report states it's still 2016. It's hot. Business has slowed down for some, including myself. Steady on repairs, but very slow on service. History has told me that when we have a warmer winter, we tend to have a slower summer. Also, election years tend to be a down year for some businesses. I encourage members to ramp up on advertising or take this potential slowdown time to work on their business. We currently are training 4 new techs in our business. If the summer has not slowed down for you, good for you, and enjoy the grind. NCSG member Facebook still appears to be very active and more active each month, with NCSG members list via email is slowly slowing down. I know I enjoy the interaction and ease of picture uploading on the Facebook chat group. It's a real good place for technical questions as well. Our monthly webinar that is put out for the NCSG by CBC Coaching is still a strong offering for our members. I'm excited to listen to the most recent while driving to work in my truck. Look at that, it's typo. If you're not familiar, contact the NCSG office or check your email. It also goes out in e-news link, correct, Darcy? Like links to the podcast for CBC.
Yes.
Awesome. So, and if you're not getting the e-news link or anything like that, then obviously contact the office. Also, CBC is starting to do some live Facebook chats. They're a little rough right now, a little shaky and stuff, but I'm sure they'll improve. It's kind of like riding a bike. You get better as you go. The feature is still a work in progress. Let's see if there's anything. I recently did a podcast with Homeowners HQ. We talked about NCSG briefly. I encourage you to download some of the associated podcasts that are out there. Spark Marketer also has a Guys and Truck podcast. Real good to listen to as you're driving down the road, and it's got a lot of industry content. I'll also add to that I came out for the meeting a couple days early and visited a couple of our members. One of them was Clay Lamb, and we spent half the day and probably made well over 30 videos, and every one of them ended with, everyone started with, I'm here with the NCSG president, Jeremy Biswell, and ended with, how can homeowners get a hold of you? It's all for his Ask the Chimney Sweep program, which he has over 2 million views on various things, which is amazing. It's a lot. And if you have never been to Ask the Chimney Sweep, it's a great training tool for your customers and for your employees. So check it out. Let's see here. We're still looking into scholarship fund and trying to get that in place and someone to take over the reins on it with Brad Joy leaving. I was out here for Sweeps Week, and I want to thank everybody who attended and donated to that event. It's an excellent event. I'm real proud of everybody for what they do. And we've just got a great group of people in this industry. Let's see here. Obviously, we're at the budget meeting. And on an ending note, we've lost another one of our brothers in Soot, Johnny B. He was a very kind soul, and he'll be missed. I want to thank him for his support and service in the industry. There's been a lot of kind words. In fact, there was a really great little story that one of our members put on one of the lists. I think he contacted you.
It'll be in sweeping, a somewhat edited version, but it'll be in sweeping.
It's I get it. But yeah, it was beautiful. He did a good job. So, and that's my report. So we'll go ahead and move on to the treasurer's report. Submitted by Ron.
There you go. Once again, I'm happy to report all is well. My thanks to the board and the staff for coming in under budget in many areas and still providing support and services to our members as we have planned. The annual membership dues first notice was sent out 90 days before September due date, and renewals are coming in. Thus, our cash flow is good. I'm also pleased to see no major issues in the near future and look forward to an excellent budget meeting, which happened. And I'll be glad to go on from there to Francis if you'd like.
Yeah, we need a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
All right. So we got a motion by Dennis Dobbs and a second by Ed Ridgway. All in favor? Opposed? Moving on to director.
Pretty much as submitted, except for building on some of the things Jeremy had already touched on. He was out here for Sweeps Week. We had what I believe is a record number of sweeps here at the Tech Center. I think we had about 38 or 40 at any given time. And many of the things you see around the building and the facility that stays maintained, including the nice twisted chimneys, is all because the sweeps come here and donate their time and efforts to be here. They installed some of the new tiles that are right on front of the building, and the last one that you see that's blank, that one will actually be John B's tile. He actually purchased one at the CSIA auction, but had not indicated to us how he wanted it inscribed as yet. So we've been working with some folks to give us inspiration for that, and so that blank tile would be his. And then we hope to sell some additional ones at the next CSIA auction. I think there were some others that have been sold since that auction, and that'll be another Sweeps Week project to keep the tiles going all around the building.
Didn't some sweeps have been money for the tile?
Yes,
also?
yes, yes, you're correct. I believe it was about $500+. I don't quote me on that, but a minimum of that was raised to purchase an additional tile.
It was over $1,000.
Yeah, it was over $1,000.
It was over $1,000.
So that was great. So there'll be two tiles here, one that he purchased and one that was purchased on behalf of the membership for him as well. And another Sweeps Week project that some of you may have seen. When you stepped out the door there, the little garden, staff had started that, and John Filter was here for the week, and he and his retirement was enjoying gardening very much, and was appalled at the weeds and lack of fencing around the garden and the mulch, and so he jumped right on it, and it looks beautiful, and everything's been growing, and it's very nice now. In addition to that, just some other things that are a little bit CSIA related that will affect members. The manual rewrite, we're still working on that. It's going a little slower than we had initially thought, but it is still moving along and will happen. And you'll also hear later in the meeting Debbie has a new member benefit, which she's going to present to you. Greg also has one. And then Debbie has reworked the membership talking points, and she'll bring those in and just take a moment to look at them, give her some feedback, anything we want in there. But they really did need to be updated, and we'll continue the updates on that based on your input, and then we'll shoot those out to you. And that's all I can think of at the time, and we will have some more convention site selection information when we get to that part in the agenda packet. Any questions?
So it's a good time to make your reservation at the Golf House.
Yes, please do that. Sooner than later. You can always cancel a reservation without penalty, but if you don't get in there, just like with Rosen Plaza, it is a very, very large hotel. I forget how many rooms they have there, 1,500 at least. But always keep in mind, we're not the only group that will be in the hotel.
So it'll be cheerleaders like last time that are like 10 years old, jumping around. No, that's okay.
I don't know who else.
That's what they do. There's dance competitions and stuff like that. I think it's great.
Yes,
So,
but
it also gives some of our members a good opportunity to shop for clothes. You know, some people like the acting outfits and everything.
Oh, no.
I did. Was it Lancaster where they had?
Oh, that was the
They had a boutique set up.
Ministers' wives.
Oh,
Yeah, was that?
Yeah, the cats. They were
That was
very
great.
lovely.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
I'm wishing now that I had purchased one of those lovely hats for Louisville for like.
There you go.
There you go.
I know. Now I have to
Uh,
find another location.
You never know when a boutique will pop up, guys. You gotta be ready.
You don't know. You don't know. It's time.
So, gonna move on to the legal report.
Oh, I need to.
Or no, I'm
Well,
sorry. I jumped
well-
over Darcy, but if you need to.
Yeah, Ashley has a report, but he was doing something with the gas class, so we can come back to it
Yep.
later if you like. And then Darcy,
And some of these will Debbie.
I'll grab Debbie.
Okay, marketing report, I'll hit some of the highlights. Convention and trade show, along with stuff we do every year. This year, we just sent out the trade show packets. So we sent out 250 exhibitor packets to potential exhibitors. We're already at about 70% of the hall sold, so we're doing great with that. Call for speakers has just closed. That went out over email blasts and sweeping and social media. And we created a video for the 40th anniversary project. Claire, who heads up all the history preservation and collection for the Guild, we recorded a video for her. She's trying to collect stories, memorabilia, really anything people have that we can put together into a presentation for the 40th anniversary. Manual library is a big project I'm working on. That will launch September 1. So the current manual library that is in the members only section of our website is a great resource, except for we've always had trouble with the files and them working, and that's been very frustrating for members. So we are going to relaunch that September 1 as a completely separate website and application. So you can get to it through any browser. The files are very easy to upload, so when we get tons of files from members that have been collecting them, it takes much less time for the staff to get them live. It will be accessible to your text. You'll just have to give them the password. It'll be the same password for the whole membership. We'll change it every year with the dues. But it will be super easy. That way your text can get into the manual library without having to know your username and password for ncsg.org. So that'll be separate. And again, it will automatically optimize for a cell phone, a tablet, laptop, whatever they have out there with them in the field. So that should be a great improvement over what we have now. Myself and the CSIA Marketing Director, Jordan, presented at Midwest HPBA in June. We've also, it's the same class we've taught at our convention and at the National HPBA show. Online education. Both CBC Coaching and Grandy and Associates, the videos and podcasts that are available through them are both easier to find on the members only section of the website. They've both been given their own separate pages, so that's much easier to access. Here this fall, once they're ready, we'll be launching with 5 new business classes on the MindFlash platform for online classes. Those will be classes that are eligible for CEUs and free to members. So that'll be another great benefit. On the membership front, we ran an ad for members in Massachusetts Guild in the summer newsletter. Debbie is also, she might hit this more, but she's running a supplier member promotion where they get 15 months of membership for 12 months for the regular fees. And we included all of that information when we sent out the packets to all the potential exhibitors, being also potential supplier members. So I think about 200 and some of them got that promotion as well in those packets.
The only question I've got is what did you use to make your report look so pretty?
InDesign.
Ed, you got competition?
Other thing we're doing for membership this month is we are having the membership recruitment packet, which Debbie's been working to rewrite and revamp all the language in. We are having our graphic designer redo it so that it'll look really great in a digital format as a digital PDF, and we can send it out in the flip book style like we do the magazine. You've seen the e-edition of the magazine. And then if we need to mail it to somebody or fax it, as is actually still requested, believe it or not, it also will look nice in that format printed. I'm sure Debbie will hit some more of that stuff in her report.
Questions for
Hey,
Darcy?
Greg.
I want to thank Darcy for, especially for updating the manual library. That was something that she just took on herself. No one said, can you do this or look at it? She just decided that it was a mess and needed to be done, and she just did it. So I just want to say thank you, Darcy, for doing that, because I think it'll be a great benefit to the members that access those.
And we're still looking into, or I haven't been on that for a while, on the members access and manuals and stuff. Are we still uploading video links to the manufacturer's websites or the YouTube channels?
We will once the new site's built out. So
Okay.
I've stopped adding to the old one because we're trying to fix that when I'm going to dump it in 3 weeks. So once that's added, those will be really easy.
Yeah, just like channel links, because like Heatalator and she's Wildfire and Harmon and stuff, they have really good YouTube videos. And then I'd like to make sure we add Ask the Chimney Sweep videos to that too, because they're very helpful as well. So and Ask the Chimney Sweep is very supportive of CSG. So cool. All right. So do we need to bounce back, or because we don't want to call legal until we get through
Yeah,
all
no,
that
we're
picture,
ready
so.
for Debbie. Debbie's
Okay.
going to go over her report and member benefits and. Oh, would you? Yes, you
Sure.
can.
Can you,
Thank you.
you want to have a seat?
And then you were going to pass out talking points for them?
Awesome. That's
Well, for members.
awesome.
And you want to pass it around? Just pass it around.
Well, you can see at the top, I've listed the number of trademarks that have opened and closed, and then what's restricted and pending. Then the figures below that, what the breakdown of the invoices that were mailed out the 1st of July for members. And I know those are coming back really well. Exhibitor booths. There was 265 that were mailed out, and to the following that have not committed to a booth. 8 of the exhibitors from last year, 29 supplier dual members, and 238 vendor prospects. I have gotten a couple of those back undeliverable, so I'm updating the vendor prospect list. And then Darcy had spoken with Sarah from House Home Design, which I'm on their website and I love their website. So I did get in touch with her, and they're seriously considering attending. And I did tell her that I was a fan, and she was real happy that she had a good fan.
Have we ever looked into Home Advisor or Thumbtack or Angie's List coming?
But that's a possibility. Oh, this is
It would be
yours.
interesting.
I'll write those down.
Conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, make a note. Yeah, you know what, I'll make a note and I'll talk to you about it.
okay,
after we're
please.
done, yeah.
This is kind of outdated now. I was in contact with Jimmy Meyer. I'm friends with him from Meyer Machine on Facebook. And they have not exhibited for the last 2 years because Jimmy doesn't feel that it meets their platform.
Mhm.
Mark also became ill. He used to come before that.
Oh, yeah, yeah, but
He's a fixture.
Jimmy's
He's a
in
fixture
charge,
for
yeah.
us. I mean,
If
he's one of our
Mark would've-
friends. I've never bought anything from him, but I still consider him a friend.
But,
Convention.
They came with that van, quick van at Branson. And, Mignon from, Canada, her and her husband bought it. So when I sent him an email, I said, this is our 40th, and I think it would really be nice if you were there. And I did get an email back from him, and he said he checked his calendar, and he has reserved a booth. So then yesterday, I spoke with Ben Hinckley with Thermal, and I believe they're going to, he was meeting with some other people, but I believe they're going to become a supplier member, and they're looking at 2 to 3 booths. And he said if I didn't hear from him today, I would hear from him the first of the week.
Who is it?
Ben Hinckley with Thermal.
What's that?
Yeah,
Oh, right, is that-
Black
Last door, really?
Awesome.
Yeah. When I was at the New York State Chimney Sweep Guild, I met Greg Elliott, who is now the person in charge with Wohler. Got a chance to talk to him, and he's not sure they're going to be able to make it next year, simply because he has to be, I think, in Germany. And so I talked to him a little more, and he's going to try to figure out some way for them to have a booth there. So anyway, we've sent those packets out, and they'll slowly start responding. So, and then, I've got emails. I'll be doing follow-up emails to the vendor prospects and different people. So I'm very confident that we'll sell all of those this year, coming year. Since May, we've had 16 new voting members for the result of the training school, 3 new affiliate, 1 new supplier, and 1 new international. This doesn't include everyone that was processed in July when I did this report. Kind of excited about a new member benefit that we're going to kick off the 1st of September. Hotel Storm will save members 10 to 55% on thousands of hotels all over the United States and internationally.
And I will say, when Debbie mentioned this to me and gave me the link to check it out, I had just been traveling to Cincinnati, and I thought, well, I'll get on the Hotel Storm link and put in the place I stayed at for a similar day of the week, etc. And I had checked the rates directly with the hotel on Orbitz Travelocity, and it was still like another $20 cheaper per night.
Yeah.
That's a great.
They are cheaper than some of the other online. It's nice because now you're doing a separate landing page, correct, for them, for Hotel Storm?
Within the members only section?
Yes.
We'll see. Probably definitely when we get to the new website.
Okay.
I'll see what I can do. There'll definitely be links and all the information for how to make it work on the members only site. And once we get the new website up, it'll be much easier to do tons of stuff.
Right. They can search for rooms, and it's anonymous. And then all they have to do is provide their name, email address, and credit card information, but no other personal information is taken at that time. And it's never shared. The other nice thing is they will block Google so that people cannot get other hotels at a discounted rate, so that it encourages everyone to go to the host hotel. So I give them the dates, and then they'll block that time out, so we don't have to worry about, that being a conflict. So we're pretty excited, and they're providing us with a lot of a marketing plan and other information to use. So we decided to open that up in September.
And use of that will be free to members, so just like with
And
any other
employees.
site, they make a small percentage from the hotel, so there's no
Right.
cost to you to book for it.
And, I'm going to encourage people, this is a nice benefit for them to also provide to their employees to use as well. I'm currently updating the benefits piece so that will go in the packet for prospects. And I've been contacting the providers to make sure that everything's updated and current. So the new non-dues revenue Grandy program for $39.95 with one CEU has started, but don't have enough time in to have any figures on how people are reacting to that. And I was going to send out a letter to for suppliers to vendor prospects, but since we included that in the packet for the exhibitors, I'm going to be doing follow-up emails to vendor prospects and promoting some things to them and why they need to join. And of course, we're offering that 15 months for the price of 12, and they cannot have been a member in the last 4 years. And that's about it. I have updated the talking points, and the only thing I did not, I took out some of the wordiness. Melissa had originally done these talking points for the board members, and I kind of went through and took out some of the extra words. I think, and the one thing I did not add on there was this hotel storm that needs to be added. So I'll go over that, but I'd like for you all to look at it, give any input. There's always something in there that triggers people's interest on why they want to be a member. And I think, I always try to find what I don't call fluffy benefits. I like to find something that is substantial and has some value. I think this hotel storm will have some value to people because all of you travel. You travel places to go to classes, and so it's a benefit to everybody. I mean, surely you can find a hotel, and some of you travel internationally, so I'm sure that would be a savings as well. Any comments?
I was just a little bit, I wanted to see, do we have numbers on how the Grandy thing is still doing, like how many opens, how many views, all that stuff?
I didn't get it this month. I can get that in.
Just
an
curious,
update. Yeah.
because that's something you get from Grandy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Bill Bernard sends that to me.
Okay.
And
Because it was impressive last time, I just want to make sure we're still tracking.
we're still, yeah, and I will get that and I can send it out to.
Does that link just go out on the Grandy stuff? Does that go out on e-news link too?
They send it directly to the members.
Yes.
So it never goes through me.
Okay, because that email looks like it comes from you.
Yes.
Okay.
But I provide them each month with the email addresses and they send this out.
Okay.
For,
Yeah, they're looking for
comes
open
from me.
rate and all that other stuff. That's why it's coming from that.
Yeah.
So
Brandy also, it looks like they'll likely have a booth at convention this year. As part of their speaking fees, they're going to have a booth. So that'll be a good opportunity for members to talk about all the stuff that's available for free as membership, as well as the new classes for CEUs, only $39. So that'll be a great touch
I'm real
point on
happy
member
with the
benefits.
results of.
I think they're going the right way. I think
Yes,
they're going the
they
right way.
like Tom
Yeah.
Brandy.
Yeah,
and,
They've got online. Grandy has online videos right now. It's like a training audio series, not just. I mean, the online videos that we get are good, but the online training modules that they have look really good. And it's a way for people to get that knowledge without having to travel to one of those classes. And so,
Yes.
yeah, I think it's excellent. I think it's excellent. I just wish I had a little more time so I could
I know.
jump right in. But
They are good, and they're so great to work with. I mean, you know, I ask for something and I get it just like that. So,
being brought over.
so I'll get those. I just didn't bring out time to get those.
I just want to thank Debbie for working on talking points. Any comments you have after you leave here, feel free to email them directly to her or to me, either one, and we'll make sure that they, you know, it's a working document. So any suggestions you have, please do that. And continuing to find the member benefits, it's looking for it to be a great new one. And I'm confident we will sell out the booths this year too. I hear Debbie on the phone all the time. She's right next door to me, and she could pretty much talk anybody into buying just about anything. I mean, she really can. I mean, she's smooth. Be careful if she engages you for more than 5 minutes. you might be dying to move too.
Right.
You're amazing.
Sold.
That didn't even take 5 minutes.
Mike Elliott has a question.
Oh, yes.
What's dual membership?
Dual is a voting member and a supplier member. Okay, so they get to vote, but they also get the benefits as a supplier.
Like Lindemann.
Yeah. As Tom and Esther.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so. Okay,
Thanks, Debbie.
you're welcome.
There we go. Okay.
Are we ready for legal?
Well, we do. Mercy, legal. Yep. Moving on to the legal report, we're gonna call up our liaison, Tracy Marshall.
Hello, Tracy Marshall.
Hi, Tracy. This is Francis. How are you?
I'm great. How is everybody?
Good, good. You're on speaker with the NCSG board.
Great. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're ready for your legal report, Tracy, if you'd like to give a
Yeah,
review of that.
The only issue I wanted to just clarify a little is the status of the federal tax exemption application, the IRS application for the foundation. So we filed that a few weeks ago, have not heard anything, but I expect we'll hear back within the next few weeks to the next month on the status of that, and maybe another month after that to continue processing. But if the examiner has any questions about the application, we did file a streamlined version, which is a new option within the last few years. So, but if they do have any questions, which hopefully they won't, we should be hearing from them within the next few weeks.
So it sounds like we should have something definitive before we would have our convention in Louisville, so we may be able to make an announcement to our membership at that time, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. And we'll certainly follow up if we don't hear anything either way within the next month.
Okay.
And that's all I have to report on. Does anyone have any questions about any of the issues in our report or anything else?
What is the jury trade show issue?
That was a question that came up recently about the option that NCSG wanted to establish certain criteria for people to be able to attend convention and other events. And there are certainly some antitrust implications with that. So if that's something that NCS wants to explore further, we would just need to discuss the details of that.
Thank you.
We're gonna go over the employee handbook revision.
Yes, that's under new
Yeah,
business.
so you have the final revision from Monished on that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great.
Let's see here. All right. I don't have any questions. Anybody have any questions for Tracy? Good. All right.
That's it. Short
Thank
and
you,
sweet.
Tracy. Short and sweet. No news is good news, right?
That's right, most of the time.
Doomsday prepper Tracy. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Tracy. Bye-bye. Easy enough.
Cool. All right. All right. So we're moving on to the consent agenda, correct?
Agenda, yes.
All right. We've got Mike Elliott. You can read your report. You can talk about your report. Whatever you'd like to do. It's your report.
Pretty much as submitted. Weather's been great in the Northeast. Very mild winter. We had a great March. Actually, we had a profitable March and April. Got a lot of masonry projects done. I guess the big things, I just wanted to give a shout out to Chris and Ingrid Pryor for the 25th anniversary of the New York Summer Workshop. You did a great job. I wasn't able to make it this year, but I covered it well from what I hear from you.
Good.
It was well attended and heard a lot of good things. And also Phil and Sharon Mitchell for having their Sweet Fest. I think they're over 10 years as well, so I want to give a shout out to them. The Mass Guild has their summer picnic tomorrow, so that should be well attended too. And that's pretty much it. Scammers are still out there, they're still coming up, but not as bad as they usually are in the spring. I think as work is desperate, they tend to expand beyond their regular scope. So that's pretty much it. I guess we go to Ed. Can I go to Ed?
Yes. Go on ahead. Thank you.
We had some weird weather in May, June, and July. Weird as I can remember. May was cold.
Yay, cold.
Yeah. It was up and down with days while I was out in sweatshirt and hoodie and a day weather and shorts and t-shirt. And so, but once July came along, we got into our usual East Coast heat and humidity, sticky chimneys, all through it. So we've remained steady, and the Pennsylvania Guild, I read the report that Bill had given me. PA Guild just had our most successful workshop ever in May. Over 50 sleeps from all over the states were involved. With masonry, gas, and liner training, we need to continue this workshop at our training center every summer. We were just there. I'm going to try and get there tomorrow if I can on the back. So, we need to continue the workshop at our training center every summer. We were just there 2 weeks ago. We'll be back there August 6th to continue the fireplace, and all are invited. August 6th, that's tomorrow. Yeah. I had dedication of the center with all the directors and board members there. I also have to add that this is one of our busiest summers in our business. So people are busy. Getting more than we are mainly booked out with masonry work. Haven't really swept many of our regulars yet.
Wow, really?
Yeah, so us either because there was a glitch with
That happens, but maybe so you haven't gotten any of your previous.
Some we might have done 3 or 4 or 5.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, so we're aiming to stop the masonry work by the end of August, so they can get this on our schedule. You guys, the Pennsylvania Guild Facebook page, PA Guild of Professional Team Suites. You can follow the progress on them, the training dates. I put down some member concerns. It was only a couple members. You guys probably followed it on Facebook. The members weren't feeling the love, I guess, or weren't seeing the benefits.
I'll come personally to their house and give them hugs.
Okay.
Whatever we need to do.
But yeah, I sat here these last 2 days, and it's been benefits for Laura
Thank you, staff. That's awesome. All the benefits that you guys have showed me, come on now. The table's set, the food's been prepared, you gotta come up to the table and eat. It's here for
One thing I was talking to Mark Stoner about this last night. One thing that I've tried to instill in my guys, and I've started doing with customers, is when you go into their house and they have a lot of problems with their fireplace, and you give them the information and stuff, they shut in on. They might even get angry, even though they call us to say, this is what's going on with your chimney. I've kind of changed my whole thought process at that point, and I just ask them at that point, okay, so we've got it laid out. What do you want to do? What do you want to do with your fireplace? I think we need to start asking our members that. When they go, I don't feel the love, here it all is, I'm going to lay it all out. What do you want us to do for you? And find out exactly what that is and bring it back to the table here. Because I've heard that for years. People don't, what's the benefit? Why do we even exist? Man, it's a huge, I think I've lost more hair in the past 8 years. And it's not just because of this, but this is part of it, because it's just, we're always doing something and working, and there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff because we don't want to put these stressors on our members, right? But without this association, a lot of bad things would happen.
Yeah, we're coming into year 40. We're at year 40 and growing for crazy. People see the benefit. I see.
Absolutely.
I can only speak for me.
I wouldn't use any of the personal benefits, and I'd still send a check every year just because someone's taking care of me. It's kind of like paying your taxes. These are the people that, if you don't pay your taxes, do you deserve to have the military? Do you deserve to have police or fire department come to your house if your house is on fire? That's how that stuff is. People don't respect the police, but darn it, if someone's attacking my family, I need that help. And my tax money goes to that. This is your tax money for being in this trade.
Infrastructure.
Exactly.
And if you don't strengthen your community, it falls apart. And that's why we're always looking for new members and new benefits to develop our foundation of an organization. We want to continue to build our community. There's 8,000 streets out there. There's a lot of people that need to be, because, the stronger the community, the more you can get done.
Right on. All right. Moving on.
I had some random ideas.
Oh, go ahead.
We'll talk
Yes.
about those.
You want to do new business?
You said you wanted to.
Yeah, after
this?
yeah, just kind of a new idea throw out. That's good. Okay, I'll make a note on that.
Sent out 108 postcards to the people that I got off the Chimney Expo. They're all region 2. And some weren't members, some were, so they got a postcard based on different stuff.
Speaking of, there are note cards on that back table, and says note cards and envelopes. If anybody wants some, please help yourself. There's more in the supply room, but feel free to take some and send your notes out to people.
What kind of response did you get from that?
I got a couple, some thank yous and stuff like that. One fellow said he tried to join, and he was having trouble with the online application.
If you have that fella's number, we'll have Debbie contact him and literally just fill out the information and take it right over. Just hold the hand. Hold the hand.
You might have figured it out, so I'll
Yeah, that's another one of those things that'll be easier on the new website when it's up and running. In the meantime, if they ever run into an issue, ordering anything, joining, anything they need, they can always call the office. We have all the forms. We will walk them right through it.
Yep.
That prompted one of my ideas of an app.
We haven't. We haven't. Yeah. We had one. I don't know if it's still active, but yeah, that's it.
We have an app. It's really a mobile optimized website that was done before I arrived that has never worked correctly. That again will fall in line with the new website will automatically.
That's how it works.
After September 1st, things will start changing and getting better.
Yeah, well,
We're still working on it. We're gonna get
you won't have a new website September 1st, but you'll have a new manual website. So that'll be a start.
All right, Mr. Region 3.
So, Southeast is alive and well with another scorching summer underway. We're actually looking for a record number of over 100-degree days in Columbia, South Carolina, and around the Midlands of South Carolina. This does not seem to be slowing down chimney sweep services, as most companies I've spoken with are adding sweep trucks and repair reline crews. The seminars and workshops provided by NCSG, state and regional guilds and suppliers seem to be bearing fruits as more and more sweeps no longer have a slow season, but now have a more intense marketing season and a business season. I'm still trying to keep up with this. Is what we've just got them talking about. And I'm spreading the word about how the CBC coaching and the branding courses are out there as member benefits. And I'm still personally struggling, and I appreciate the new talking points with explaining just what the infrastructure part we put into everybody's business is. But these talking points updates are going to help a whole lot. I will say overall that all of our members that I talk to in South Carolina, in North Carolina, in Georgia, and Virginia, and the South regional area are happy and are satisfied with what we're doing and look forward to us doing more. And a lot of them don't realize that the prefab manuals are out there. And as of September 1st, they're going to be easier to get to. So all these things are getting better and better. The Southeast Annual Gathering presented by the South Carolina Chimney Sweep Guild will be happening on September 15th through the 17th, and all are welcome. There are a lot of other events and seminars being made available by other state guilds and suppliers, which appear to be growing our industry every day. I'm proud to be a part. There you go.
Moving on to Jeff.
As submitted, with a couple of highlights in here. Some of them just kind of dovetail really well with what's already been talked about. Just about the number one complaint that I usually heard was about people trying to find employees and qualified employees when I'm talking to people, but they're unaware of the many benefits that are available through the guild. There's background checks at discounts. There's human resources that you can contact people. In our area, there was a fairly high-profile case of a service company not doing that and getting sued for multi-millions because they didn't do background checks on people they were sending in the home. So for less than $50, you can do some simple checks, and it's a great thing. It's a great service.
It costs about $100 to background check and health check, respirator fit, and everything. It's not, and it just saves you tons of time and thousands of dollars. And that HR company that's through the guild, we use them, Sesco. They're excellent. They're excellent, and it's a bargain.
It is, and it's your due diligence is what I try to put in here to do that. One of the trends that I noted in here was that how many people I talked to just happened to mention projects they were doing to give back to the community. Right? Greg just mentioned. I mean, from helping out with Boy Scout camps and rebuilding to a lot of different situations where they were just giving back to their communities, which is it's really neat to see that there's been a continued history as long as I can remember in our organization, people doing that. So. And one of the comments that I heard, no one really wanted to publicize anything that they were doing. So I said, can I mention this? And then, no, I don't want to mention this. But if they do put it on their website, what I did learn is that it usually generates more opportunities to give away things if they do something for somebody and they publicize it. So, it's great what people are doing in our area. So, and including our fellow sweeps here at the, I'll give kudos to all those that came for Sweep Week. That was great. So a lot of work was done. So that's my report.
Thank you. Jesper?
Pretty much as submitted. I just had a phone call Tuesday on the way down here, Wednesday on the way down here. Member was a little anxious about OSHA exemption. The satellite installers seem to have gotten theirs through in like 18 months. Ours was going on years and years. Waiting for that to go through. But the NFK 211 announcement with the aftermarket parts, received pretty much a standing ovation at the field workshop. I'm very excited and something that a lot of members,
So
it affects
there's
everyone.
a lot of non-members that wanted to throw money in the pot at that time. We
Yeah,
should be contacting these people.
Absolutely, sending them a bill.
Yeah, basically they got, something for nothing.
That particular event, just about everybody there is also national.
That's good. That's good. Is that it? Cool. All right, moving on to Region 6. Oh, is that Bob? Is that Bob?
Yeah, sorry.
Where's Dennis, did you do your report?
Dennis is now.
At large.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but I will talk about
He's
it.
a large one. Go ahead until we get home,
Go ahead
Bob.
and talk while I.
You can talk about, Bob's report if you
We had a Southern Association, we had 2 meetings, we had one in Nashville, I believe it was in May, that was the CSI Roadshow. It turned out to be a very good event. If I remember right, we had 60 some odd suites there.
60 something? That's not bad. Not bad.
No, it was a lot of people, and very, very good deal. And then last week, we went to Kennesaw, Georgia, London, and there was another SOCB event, Lindeman helped out. And it was, we had big 40 some odd people in the class.
Bob, you there? Bob?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Bob.
we can. Dennis is just wrapping up here. We're gonna have you do your report if that's okay.
But anyway, on the Thursday night after our
I
class,
have to bring it up. I gotta find it.
Oh, I can read it and just give you the reminder talking points. Yeah. Stand by for a sec.
anyway, we went to Mario Andretti's, which is
It's
an
a
indoor,
go-kart. Yeah.
like go-kart track slash, had a bowling alley, restaurant, and so it was very, very nice event. And then the next day we had, Lindeman safety, guy who was talking about rope safety, ladder safety. And we done a tie-in with that, after like a half day after lunch, we went to an indoor, rock climbing, or walk
Whoa.
deal, and that was pretty neat. But
Yeah.
see about the interaction with that. So,
Get over there.
well,
That's funny.
it wasn't quite that bad.
Oh, good. Good. All right. Well, we gave Dennis a shot at a report. All right, Bob.
Just shout it.
I'll read your report, Bob, and you got any comments. The Oregon Northwest Guild had about 60 sweeps in attendance at the annual May Day conference. There were a lot of great seminars, 2 of which were outstanding in my mind, were HPBA's John Crouch and OSHA Oregon on fall protection. HPBA Pacific brought some great gas hands-on training and a substantial trade show. Olympia had a well-attended relining seminar in June. The Golden State Conference was one of the most well-attended in recent years despite the outdoor venue and the 103-degree heat. Heat Shield provided an installer certification. There's a workshop on September 4th at Captain Kirk's Chimney Service. And there's a huge excitement and pride in Region 6 to hold the 2018 National Conference in Portland. The Pacific Northwest is beautiful from coast to the high Cascades to the high desert. Plan to spend some time out there. Any further comments on your report there?
Yeah, California had about 45 people, which is maybe 20 more than they've had the last 2 years. So that was good. It's really good thing. And a few people there. So there's some good outreach going on. It looks like a little energy's coming up.
We need about 300 new people or members at the Portland event from that region.
All right.
300. No, that's on you, brother. 300.
Yeah, it's no problem. There's a lot of we have a lot of resources to reach out to cemeteries and places to get plenty of names.
Bodies are fine. As long as they have life insurance policies, we're
Their credit
okay.
cards clear.
As long as it states it's under registration.
Hey, Bob, you sent me an email last night, and I didn't quite understand it. It said, Ed had some good, ideas on membership.
Yeah, where's Ed's report?
It's still here.
Yeah, we just went through it.
Yeah.
Did anything, go ahead.
He had, oh, shoot. Hold on a second.
You're very unorganized. You're not prepared.
I'm not, I'm like, it's only 7 o'clock here.
Just to let you know, all of our thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. Yeah.
Thanks, because I'm going pretty well crazy. Which Stuart said he has type 2 diabetes, so that was kind of good news as far as it goes. Oh, I can't find my email.
I have it.
Yeah, did you want the?
Oh, there it is, I got it.
Okay.
So, then, for Ed's idea to get suppliers split their discounts that they give to NCSG members in their catalogs, I think that's a really great idea.
Oh, okay, I get it now. So
Yeah.
put your coupon in their catalog. Put their coupon in their catalog for the NCSG discount. That is a good idea. That's a backdoor idea.
So there's people who aren't members here. That's
Okay, so
non-members read supplier catalog.
yeah, so we need to get with Debbie on that. That was a very good idea.
Yeah, there was a couple others with that he had. You might have them reread them because I thought they were all really good ideas.
Table that until new business.
Yeah, we're tabling that until we're having a mind, kind of a meeting of the minds afterwards. So yeah, if you want to be part of that discussion, we can call you. That's up to you. It might be 9 o'clock your time at that time. So.
Okay.
Do his membership committee, which we're always on.
Oh, hey, can we jump to your membership committee report? We can read it real quick, to see if you have any input. NCSG supported the Golden State Sweep Conference by sending notices and invitations to California Sweeps, working within a few hours of the Sacramento Conference. Part of the NCSG growth vision for members is to help regional associations build their membership and attendance. We have a list of 228 chimney companies in California, which this should make it easy for at least a 300 attendance in Portland, Oregon, given that we have a lot of Oregon. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, I'm adding to your report here. Finding and reaching out to sweeps in each region throughout the country directly through suppliers and regional associations and through affiliate organizations is part of our plan. Reaching out to sweeps within an 8 to 10 hour drive of the national convention is ongoing.
So there used to be almost 500 sweeps in California in terms of a list, maybe 10 years ago. So I don't know where they all went, but maybe they all moved to Portland.
How many, do we have any numbers on how many we have in the Portland area? Because they have a pretty strong association.
I haven't ever looked, but I can ask Jim Gill and they'll have a list.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, anything we can get that we can, pump that up.
Yeah, well, that should be part of the whole plan going forward, is to really reach out to the Northwest. And California is excited about it too. And so, but yeah, all of Oregon, Washington, that's where the bulk are going to be, Oregon and Washington, and then California.
All right.
I don't know how many we'll get from like Southern California, but from Central on up, we should have plenty.
Good. Fantastic. All right. Bob, you got anything else? You want to stay online? What do you want to do, brother?
Yeah. Is there a link to get? Is there a video going?
There is a video going. Darcy, do you have Bob's email, or should I go have Sarah?
Bob, go to the NCSG Facebook page and click on the link.
NCSG Facebook page, click on the link.
Also in the discussion list.
Also, the link is in the discussion list.
Okay.
Any
All right,
problems, call Sarah.
I'll mute my phone and, just listen.
Okay.
If I have any jokes, I'll put them on Facebook.
Yeah, either that or make fun of us live, that's fine. He has a mute. I had to do mute on his phone. Okay, so don't forget, Bob's still online, so if you have anything bad to say about Bob, wait until after the meeting. All right, moving forward, which I have missed Bob at this meeting. Usually he's got some inspirational stuff. Let's see here. Supplier report, let's call, oh, rats, we gotta call Stuart. So we're gonna do that, can you do that on the phone? Okay. All right, yeah. Now I've got Stuart direct on my phone too, if we need to. Where is that? Let's see here.
Page 24.
There it is, thank you. If we need to jump somewhere, if we do, if we need to do that in there, we can jump somewhere, we don't need to. Okay. If we get hold of them, we'll just go through it.
Hi, Stuart. This is Francis Kelly. How are you? Good, good. I have you on speakerphone here with the board.
You're live at the NCSG 2016 budget meeting. Hey, we were just going over your supplier director report. You just want me to read it? Do you have any added stuff?
No, not really.
Okay. Okay. I'll read it, and we'll if we have any questions or discussion. You want to stay on the phone for a minute as I read it, or you want to stay on the phone for a minute as I read it? Okay. So feedback from NCSG supplier members concerning business this period continues to be cautiously optimistic. For most supplier companies, business is flat to slightly down. Most contribute that to the winter that wasn't. Most that I spoke to are hoping for an early harsh winter to jumpstart the busy season.
Yay.
If we don't, there you go. If we don't see that, we may see a hangover from last winter. There has been an upswing in education offerings, many sponsored by supplier members. The consensus is attendance is up and may be attributed to a slower summer by trade company attendees. Attendance has also been up at most state guild meetings. Oregon, California, MCSG, Pennsylvania, and New York state guilds all have had record attendance this year, which bodes well for the industry. That is all I have to report. Coming to you live from the hospital, this is Stuart Cronwich. Right.
When you talk to suppliers, yeah, there's a little bit of cautious optimism there. The interesting thing is most of the companies they deal with, that is just spotty, man. It's like whack-a-mole. One's up, the other's down. So it doesn't seem to be, everybody's down across the board. It seems kind of like a mixed bag.
Mm-hmm.
Where guys just say, hey, I'm having a great year, and then hey, I'm having a little down. But I kind of judge the whole thing over, with the suppliers because they let the whole industry. And so, I think that cautiously optimistic or have good busy season. But if it's on warm, also even start the busy season, that maybe have people sing the blues for a few months.
Yeah. All right. We appreciate you.
All right, man.
That's awesome. There you are. Thoughts and prayers are with you, brother.
Keep kicking, buddy.
Yeah. Speaking of still alive, Ashley just walked in. Hi, Ashley.
Hey, did you take it over bed? Then you gotta do the dance.
He's dressed well today. I like his shirt. All right. Thanks, Stuart. Bye. Hi, Ashley.
And I'll add to the supplier, just talking to suppliers at some of the different trade shows. They're all just hopefully things turn because of that mild. So,
It's, again, I don't understand. These guys have big supplying companies, and you just look at the trend. In the 17 years I've been doing this, whenever we have a warmer winter, the next winter is going to be slow, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold, and it's going to be a little slow. So you plan for it, and we had a slower summer because people go, well, I hardly used my fireplace last year. So you don't get as many phone calls and stuff like that. So you just got to hunker down a little bit. Don't plan on growth. Stick with the education stuff, just like the industry's doing, and you move on. My gosh, if it hinges that tightly on things, you got a bad deal.
You just got to keep throwing bait out there.
Yeah.
And when it changes, everything will start hitting. So
yeah,
Elections are historically low.
Yeah, and I've heard that conspiracy theory as well, that the election years have people freaked out and things. And you got to remember right now too. Right now, everybody's going back to school. They're trying to get over vacations. They're trying to get their kids back in school. I mean, I know I'm doing the same thing.
I
So
think this industry is doing more marketing than it's ever done through individual companies. And I think that's making the whole public more aware all the way around, and people are fixing up their houses. A lot of people are staying in their houses longer and taking care of their houses. So I still see our industry growing, even when the weather isn't affected that much. At least that's what I'm seeing in the southeast.
if you try to do the real estate booming, and that helps business too. So.
let's see here. So we're on to bylaw report, right?
Or do you want to go back to
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Director of Education report.
All right. So I assume you've read it?
No, we waited on you. We wouldn't dare.
On device.
Okay, would you like me to read it to you?
You can, what, Cliff Note version, read it, whatever you want to do.
All right, the only two things really that I think are appropriate to add to this are that I did get in touch with Mike, and he's too busy to be able to do the pellet stuff. One of my plans is to do back-to-back NFI reviews, wood, gas, pellet. Do the 6-hour review one day, half day hands-on, half day to take the test, and the test will take 3.5 hours. It'd be too much to do the 6-hour PowerPoint followed with a 3.5-hour test. And if you can figure out a way to put that in 5 days, that would be wonderful. But I picture 6 days in the event that somebody would want to take all 3 of those classes.
Are you guys road showing, the CSI road showing, the NFI, pellet, gas?
We can, it's certainly an option. I can teach all 3 of them. Okay. It's one of the options. The other thing was, let's see here. You filled in the primary keynote, so that takes care of that.
I had another idea on another class, since our friend with the air duct cleaning is planning on coming back. An intro to air duct cleaning, or an add-on for chimney sweeps. That'd be pretty cool. I don't think we've ever had a class like that. I don't want to talk about air ducts. I want to talk about, hey, you can add this to your business, and you can also get into dryer vents and stuff. And he can talk in general enough about the general. That's his vacuum. That's his vacuum. Right. So, anyways, that's another idea if we're looking for another class.
Well, we've got an abundance of classes to choose from.
Okay.
Already, which is a good thing.
Well, maybe the next year.
Well, no, Ashley's right. I mean, it is a good thing, because I think the last 2 years we've had someone back out last minute for one reason or another. So it's always good to have something else on the shelf that you can add in there if need be. So.
Yeah, and I assume that you read it again, but you did read this. We have changed up the gas class. I did get an email from Mike indicating that he and Jim are kind of getting burned out on this, and that we need to revisit that program and potentially bring in some other instructors. So Dennis has expressed an interest in teaching the gas class. And in fact, I talked to Dennis about this 2-day thing. So in the gas, I'm not going to have to depend on Mike and Jim to teach that class.
We do a lot of gas, and it's a growing part of our business. So if you need another instructor, I'm actually teaching an NFI review for a local fireplace shop. So I'll be prepared to do that.
All right.
You need anybody
I would
else.
have more time on your hands.
I'll have more time on my hands because he's going to take over all this.
All right, great. So,
So if you need another hat.
you're already a proctor, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first thing I do with prospective instructors is ask them to become a proctor. And so they know the process of administering the exam and such. And then if they express an interest in being an instructor, we keep that on file. And then we can do people. We need to know their areas of expertise and their interest, and go from there. So it's good. So I'm trying to take some of the load off of these two guys.
Sure.
But in addition to lack of their availability, that class needs to be really modernized. And we talked about the possibility of bringing in some manufacturers. You might have a trailer they could put in the parking lot and let them conduct a class for a day or something like that. So change it up pretty.
Fireside America would be glad to do something.
I think several of them would.
Yeah.
And really, a lot of the Power stuff is dated. It's nice that it's all on roll around stuff, but a lot of it is dated. So ideally, I would be able to get rid of the storage room. That's all CSI stuff. But as far as convention goes, I think we're in pretty good shape with seminars and such.
Cool. Okay, so thank you, Ashley.
Sure.
All right, so we'll move on. We had bylaw report. Did we do that? Probably nothing.
There's nothing, there are
Right. I am curious.
changes.
I am curious about the ethics committee report. So we have nothing going on.
There's nothing at this time.
That's been a long time coming. I mean, that's great and weird.
And that's not to say that there's no activity, and there are things that get submitted to the committee, they review them, and it doesn't go any further.
Do you know of any open cases right now?
No, and this comes from Debbie, if there's anything open, she would let me know.
Okay. Governance report, let's take a look here.
Jay Walker.
Yeah, you want to give a Cliff Note version of that report for me?
Absolutely. We do have, I think it's by the end of this month. My hopes are that sometime just before that August budget meetings, that there's an agenda that includes some board development orientation, which we did do that in May for everyone. Term 1 positions up for election, Region 1, Mike Elliott, Jasper, Dobbs, and Biswell, and Jeremy. Jeremy cannot run again because of term limits, he's termed out. And then we also have Greg Boss's position is up and the at-large supplier is up.
All right, so the ones that are on that, does everybody plan on that has that for running again?
I'm not running again.
Okay, are you on that? Okay, so
Yes.
everybody that's on that, I've got a list item for you to do before I want to print out the application. Let's go ahead and get them to fill it out before they leave today.
And I'm still.
And we'll need that. And we'll need those names so we can get them back to.
Jay.
And I've got a couple things out, right?
Okay. How long do you think that will take?
I do about-
By 2? Okay, no problem. All right.
Right in the middle of the test, I'll make that decision.
Think about it while you're taking the
Get
test.
Get your priorities.
Yeah, if I pass the test, then I'll.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get those printed out so we can give them to everybody, and then Greg can do his thing, but we'll get Jasper's. And honestly, most of the information, if we can just pull up their old one and we can just update it. I mean, if they want to change something, or just take each one of them and look it over real quick, and then we can just resubmit that.
And if for some reason, if you are running again and you want an updated photo for your bio, today would be a great day to take you outside and do that regularly.
I also took photos of all of them except for Ed.
But keep in mind, we would love to do the photos. Keep in mind if your region ends up being uncontested based on the bylaw change from last year that was approved by the membership, we're no longer required to mail or email ballots. But just in case there is someone that pops up, we can have a photo and everything ready to go.
All right. Government affairs report. Anything special to go over there?
Darcy's been busy.
Hey, give us a Cliff Note version.
All right, so I attended Government Affairs Academy for the Hearth Patio Barbecue Association, hosts every other year in Washington, D.C. this July. So we went over lobbying at the state, local, and national levels, as well as grassroots marketing, media fairs, all that good stuff. On July 14th, we actually went in groups and lobbied on Capitol Hill. So we actually had set meetings with staffers in Senate and congressional offices. My group was myself, Eric Adair, who's also on the CSIA board, Rick Vallejos, who's the NFI executive director, and 2 supplier reps with Travis Industries. We met with Congressman Doug Lamalfa's office in California, Senator Barbara Boxer, Senator Dianne Feinstein of California, Senator Joe Donnelly of Indiana, Senator Dan Coates of Indiana, and Congressman Todd Rokita's office, and that is the congressman for this district that the tech center sits in. So they were very interested. They might actually consider coming out here to visit. The staff person said he's always interested in places in his district he's never been, and the tech center is certainly a very unique venue to come visit. We discussed EPA approved wood stove tax credits. So if any of you involved in wood stove sales or any of that, Congress for the last few years, at the end of the year, has approved a tax credit, 25C, for $300 tax credit for wood stoves, but they keep making it retroactive. It gets passed in December and then only qualifies for the past year, which is not great for those that are in sales for wood stoves because they can't count on that. So we're lobbying to get them to put it forward 2 years, so hearth sellers can actually
Promote it.
yes, promote it. There's also a biomass tax credit that's going to come up, 25D. And also, it looks like there's going to be a bill introduced in the Senate for wood stove changeouts. So there'd be more federal funds available for wood stove changeouts. Those are programs where they go into communities that have low air quality and put in EPA-approved wood stove. That's great for our members because they need installers, and to participate in that program, you have to be CSIA or NFI certified. So those are great for the communities they're in. We also, at the Indiana congressional offices, discussed the tech center and the hearth industry in Indiana specifically. When I did my follow-up sent them all the information about the tax credits on the national level we discussed. I also sent them all information about Indiana specifically, how many hearth stores, how many supplier manufacturers we have, how many NCSG members and service businesses we have. We also sent them information on the economic impact of the tech center. So Claire and I sat down and we crunched the numbers, how much the tech center economically impacts the local area. So how much people are coming for classes, for board meetings, for sweeps week, whatever have you, are spending here in the local area. And we figured it's just over $80,000 that people are spending here in Plainfield as a result of us being here. So that was a great number to show. Other issue that just came up this week, there's been an issue about New Jersey code that seems to be affecting, so far as I've been notified, hearth shops. In New Jersey, you are able, under the HVAC codes, you can run a gas line if you have an HVAC license or plumber's license, but there is an exception for chimney service professional. The issue that has arisen is there's no definition for chimney service professional in the code. So there were a couple of hearth shops that were unable to pull permits lately because the AHJ said there's no definition, so you don't qualify. So HPBA, Rachel Feinstein, who's their government affairs coordinator, called. We talked about the issue. She let me know everything she knows so far. She is meeting with New Jersey Consumer Affairs that regulates this to get a definition in the code for chimney service professional. And she was going to have a phone call with them today, begin to follow up. She sent them all the information they've worked out with other states for that definition. It will likely include, to some degree, NFI and CSIA certification. So she's going to give me the update on that. Anyone who's in the New Jersey area, who's having trouble pulling permits or is hearing anything about this issue, is encouraged to email any of that to me, and I'm compiling it and sending it out to Rachel. She said at this time there's no action that she needs our members in the state to take. But if they do, or there's something they can do, or send a letter, or show up to a meeting, whatever it is, she will let me know, and we'll start trying to mobilize our folks for that.
I think it'd be great if we can put them to
Awesome.
educate CSIA and IS.
So other than that, I'm working on putting together a new government affairs plan for the organization. It'll probably, when we revamp the website, it'll include more resources. It'll probably include some degree of outreach to state and local guilds as far as education on advocacy. As you all know, chimney sweeping and hearth service regulation is very area specific. You can go all the way down to the county level. It's just impossible for us to track that all here on the national level. So finding more resources where we can train our state and local organizations so if they have an area-wise, they can mobilize themselves would be great. Your report.
Great job.
Great. Yeah, very nice job.
That was
a member benefit.
Have we ever,
And your number is?
would it be too bold to think outside the box of possibly having a roadshow kind of class solely geared toward education of state agencies that do this kind of thing?
It sounds an awful lot like Chimney Check.
Which is a great thing.
Exactly.
I'm just saying if you have like a roadshow class that goes to a particular state and then you can meet with those officials and explain to them what we do, how we do it, and what's,
Wow, now that sounds much more comprehensive. If you're talking about going to every state and trying to explain, actually, sure, I guess we funded it could happen.
Well, my building officials in Columbia, this has been 15 years back, had me come before their group of building inspectors that they have weekly training meetings.
Right.
They had me come in for an hour and a half and go over the chapters in the IRC and NFPA 211. And I've been great friends with those guys ever since.
I did exactly the same thing as an individual company with my building inspector.
Right, and going
Encourage
forward,
our
yeah,
members to do that.
I'd like to put together online classes or a convention class or something like that where they can learn how to present to building inspectors, how to present to other trades, how to present to air quality boards, depending on where they
Actually,
live.
and if I have a class like that, we would probably get access to it.
Moving on to NCSG International Relations report. I know John Roger puts in a lot of time, and so does Diane, and effort into our international relations, and they do an excellent job. Francis, you want to give kind of an overview? We don't have to read the whole thing, but it looks like he's done some traveling. Looks like there's a lot of big German words in here.
Yeah, I'm not even.
So that's why I'm afraid of the report.
That's why you're asking me.
Basically, I guess I could do it. Basically, John presented a seminar on chimney sweeping in America. It was well attended and received. He's forwarded a copy of the program. He attended a reception and he got set at the VIP table with the president of the, and some politicians.
Is the chimney sweeps, not the master chimney sweeps, but the working sweeps.
Gotcha. Yeah. They really like American chimney sweeps. And it looks like they were very gracious in taking care of him while he was out there too. Let's see here, at the end of June, I attended another Guild Association of Masters in Cologne, Germany. There's a trade show. It's your new chimney products, software, work vehicles, workflows, insurance, testing equipment. Let's see here. It looks like what's we got going on here. This system, this next level. Once again, I was treated with much respect. My registration was comped. My reception ticket was paid for. They're very gracious people. I will be submitting a slideshow presentation to the board shortly, so you can see firsthand some of the new products and new innovations. So I'm excited to see that when John gets that out, to see. John did that once, was a year ago, I think, when he went to the trade show and he was showing new equipment and stuff. Jasper?
One paragraph was talking about the pollution control and efficiency. About what CSA should be teaching it, we should promote it. That's interesting for all that stuff, especially on the West Coast where they're pumping down on their stoves and starting to actually be able to test efficiencies.
Yeah, that's true. And I've seen efficiency testing is big out there. That's a big role of the chimney sweep out there. And Woller's got a lot of neat devices to check efficiencies and stuff. And yeah, it puts a lot of stuff to bed. And then they're trying to get people to burn more efficiently. So, let's see here. In 2017, I'd like to attend 3 or 4 meetings, and that is the reason for my increased budget request. I've had several invitations to attend meetings in Denmark, Sweden, Romania, and Finland. So John's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we do the membership committee reports. No, I went back in time.
And there's a big,
You
there's
actually
a
did
lot of people that are going to the, Philly,
Spazzacamini.
and he's put John Van to really making sure all them all taken care of and all set.
Yeah, they're kind of like tour guides and travel experts and everything else. So,
Tell you about what they need to bring and what they shouldn't bring.
okay, so we've got NFPA 211 and NFPA 31, which no report, nothing to report, no meetings on the NFPA 31, so those we can zip right through. And we go to site selection report. Ms. Francis.
Yeah, we pretty much talked about that a lot yesterday. So it will be the DoubleTree in Portland. Dates are April 15 to 22, 2018. Received a contract from the hotel, and Art has reviewed it, and he actually just got some comments back from last night. I haven't had a chance to go through that. They pretty much met all of our concessions that we typically ask for. Their food and beverage, just because of being out west, was higher than what we would normally have. But what they agreed to do was give us a what's called a 10% slippage, which means if we're 10% under the contract amount, they won't penalize us. And then they also agreed to allow us to use the, like when we have a reception or when we have the cash bars set up before the banquet, to allow that dollar amount to count toward our food and beverage. And I checked with Orlando just to see what that was, because we don't see those bills. I don't know how much it was, and it was approximately $8,000. So that will allow that to go toward our food and beverage. So. Okay. Pretty happy about that. They've been easy to work with. They're able to put us in their in the hotel for our trade show. Otherwise, we were going to have to spend about $8,000 to $12,000 at the convention center to rent that. The downside is we'll have less booths, but given that we're not going to have to pay for the space and the location, we may not have sold as many, but we're good. And they're working with us to expand the number of booths by allowing some in like open areas that aren't enclosed, which we did in Orlando. We had some out. So that'll increase by about another 10 booths, I believe. And the food is wonderful there. So everything's locally sourced and grown. They're very organic. It's very nice. And I don't think there's anything else about Portland, but it's room rates were $189. Parking, I believe they guaranteed it self-park at $10 a day. So you can do the light rail. For those that fly in, the light rail is $2.50 each way. Or you can just get a pass for the whole week, which is what I recommend people do, which is $26. And the light rail goes all over the city. I mean, you would have no reason to need a cab or do anything like that. It's a very walkable city.
Didn't you say the light rail comes from the airport too?
It comes straight from the airport to within a block of the hotel.
There you go.
So if you're flying in, it's really immensely easy to get around.
So can we send instructions to our members on that? Just real easy, because nobody wants to get a cab, man, basically.
Yeah, we'll put that when we get to that point after we get through the convention site. We'll put that up there, and they have, like I said, really good rates for that. And What else was I gonna say about them now?
They're really good, really awesome.
They
Really
are.
neat place, and the coffee is very strong.
Coffee.
and
Bar is
good.
very large.
And there's a lot of good
The
seafood.
microbreweries, local wines, winery tours. Yep, Ron was asking about flights.
Yep.
When I went out there with Darcy, the Convention Visitors Bureau didn't pay for us to go out there, but I did see the rate on the flight because I booked it and they paid for it. And it was really about the same as when we flew to Orlando. I mean, you know, there wasn't a direct flight, but it was less than $400 round trip fly. It just depends upon who you're booking through and when you're leaving the county. So you could play around with that. It really was not that expensive.
Well, people just need to book it before the end of their fiscal year, which for most people, it's December. So if you book it in December, you're gonna get the best flight rates and everything. You know, and you're gonna get, you know, hotel room and everything. Make it part of your last write-up of the year and get it done.
And for the hotel, NCSG pretty much has the entire hotel, all the rooms, all the meeting space, everything. If for some reason we just, you know, to knock it out of the park and we completely fill up that hotel, one of the nice things that's really wonderful about Portland in that area is there are some really, really cute boutique hotels that are right around there that are just, I mean, you can't find anyplace else. So
Dennis Dobbs loves boutique.
you like boutique hotels, Dennis?
I love it.
That's also good.
That's my
In fact, he
favorite.
has a blog about it.
Yeah,
So,
that's my favorite thing in the whole world, boutique hotels.
he calls himself D Nice.
And I would, Bob mentioned it in his report, I would recommend if you're taking the time to come all that way to tack on a couple of days either before or after, because it truly is beautiful. When I was out there, I had the opportunity, Steve Cable and his wife Julie were nice enough to pick me up after my meetings, and we went up to Mount Hood and we toured around, and it's truly just a majestic, beautiful area. So I'd recommend adding a couple of days if you can.
That's in April.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
It's gonna be in April.
Yeah.
So if when the convention falls in April, do you think we have to, then we still in May? So we have a board meeting in April and a board meeting in May?
Well, we may have to adjust that a little bit.
I guess it wouldn't matter.
You know what we could do? We could do something crazy that year. I mean, well, you guys could do something crazy that year. I mean,
Uh-oh.
how about if you went out a few days early and did the budget meeting right there?
Oh, in Portland?
The budget meetings at the
That's
end.
a planning meeting?
Board
Planning
orientation.
meeting.
Meeting. Good.
It's an idea. You get to go out a couple days early, and the wives can run around, or husbands and wives can say, man, get the boutiques. Yeah, that isn't a bad idea, because it's always hard trying to gather it up and get it out here. You guys are going anyways. You come in 2 days early. You're going to be there, aren't you? Anyways.
You won't have, the staff that was doing stuff during those days.
We'll get you out of your work.
Throwing it out there. You don't need the entire staff or me. Just throwing it out there. It's not going to be my decision, but just throwing it out there. So.
You do the planning part and then have the board meeting at the convention.
I mean, on the planning, you know what? That's a planning meeting. You don't need a lot of staff. You need the CSIA for the joint part of it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sorry.
No, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great
That's a
idea.
good idea, because you're doubling down, you just want somebody.
Yeah.
to do it again.
That's a great idea. Rock on.
Hey, and
A lot of time.
and until the clean up the
Well, the planning meeting should be very interesting if you visit the local shop there in the visitors bureau.
There you go.
Creativity
You keep
abounds.
bringing that up, I don't know about that.
She's excited. She's excited about the medical boutiques.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna call them, the medical
All sorts of
boutiques.
boutiques out there.
All right. So,
The last thing I have on
Yeah.
that is that Darcy will be attending the Connect Marketplace August 25th to 27th to meet with future sites for our RFP for 2019. I just need to give her some possible dates for that. After 2019, the plan is to rotate back to Rosen Plaza in Orlando. They have already contacted me. I just need to nail down some potential 2020 dates, but everyone, I didn't hear a single negative thing about Orlando and Rosen Plaza, so it would be a no-brainer to go back there.
Yep.
19 or somewhere else.
Yeah, 2019 will be Northeast, so we'll look at that. If anybody has suggestions or thoughts about places that way, that's in their area, that
Can we get an eight
Myrtle Beach.
northeast?
then.
We always have that argument.
North,
You guys are going back to work.
Yeah.
We try to come in February, it's just what's gonna happen with the weather.
She's talking about Orlando, I'm saying you want that Myrtle Beach for an alternative rather than
That's
Orlando.
probably 20.
No, she's talking about.
All right.
Florida, it takes out the southeast, yeah.
All right, so moving on to the Technical Advisory Council report. Just so everybody knows, we're gonna be, there's no new information report this time. Well, we've decided we probably need a revamp on our, just our full technical advisory committee and how it's done and everything else. So we're gonna be looking into that probably after December, when everything slows down a little bit and staff has a little bit of time, we got a little bit of time. I'm kind of leaving on staff on when that we need to start working on that, but we're going to try a different system, and maybe try to get some new blood into that committee as well, because it seems like the committee members have been there for a long time and they're very busy people. So, you know, maybe some
Hopefully
new
the
people want to
new
get
phone
into it.
system is gonna help make it better starting September
New
1st.
phone system, things of that nature. So yeah, we're going to revamp that
September 1st, okay.
system and benefit. So, but it won't be going away. It's going to be there. I think it's a huge benefit. There we have it. So apprenticeship committee report, no new information. So we'll move on to scholarship committee report. I think we covered this in Tracy Marshall's phone call. And Greg, unless you have anything else to go over, I don't know if you're in here for Tracy's phone call, but we talked about the IRS thing and all that stuff.
It's all been resubmitted.
Okay. So looks like that's the entire consent agenda. We got anything else? Motion to accept? Yes. Motion to
I'm ready
accept.
to make a motion to
We
accept
got Ron
the consent
Rust.
agenda as presented.
And we got Greg Boss's second. All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna take a recess. Okay?
I
That's great.
wasn't ready for that.
We're gonna take a recess, 10-minute, and then we'll be back. When we come back, I'm going to turn the meeting over to Jasper so he can get some practice on on the old business and new business. And I think I can do that without anything magical. I'll take over for a bit. I think everybody knows where I'm at on everything else. So there we go.
Awesome.
Everything is awesome.
We're back.
Don't forget to swing your gavel, buddy.
And action.
Ready to tackle new business?
Go ahead,
All
back in order. There we go.
Wait a second, what the heck?
Silence did not jump.
I know you gotta make me jump.
The first thing under new business is approval of the 16-17 budget. We went over it pretty well last night, yesterday. Is any discussion, or are we ready to make a motion?
Well, what was the new, what did we end up at? I mean, we were just, maybe it was to make a couple changes.
All right, yeah, Paul was working hard and reviewing, and especially Megan working hard and reviewing the numbers again in the income. We increased the income to the convention and trade show by around 3 to 5%. And we also increased expenses to our board of directors. There's $500 in at least each region director's availability, and there's at least there's $2,000 in the at-large availability for all the at-large directors. And the bottom line is that we're going to make $1,300 next year. The $1,300 for the plus, which is a lot better than $32,000 for the negative. We based our changes on the fact that we have been showing a 20% increase in revenue and increasing our budget by 3 to 5% seems realistic. So we like to still be conservative. We would like everybody to still be as diligent as they have been being. But the way things are set up right now, if we just go one budget, we'll end up $1,300 in next year.
And we're also 30,000 into membership benefits, right?
We are all, that's exactly right.
That's part of the budget also.
That's what, when we first went, before we did this change, we were at negative 34,000, and 35,000 of that is member benefits that are up and coming that we are putting in place. So,
Added to the existing.
yeah, add to the existing.
So
Exactly.
I would personally think that the whole board basically getting that done. And I'm really more comfortable with, being closer on the budget than have a big deficit. So thank you, Megan.
And everybody did a really good job of not spending more than was needed the last year or so, and if we all keep that up, the budget will be a lot easier next year as well, so. So we have a motion to accept. Greg Boss, first. Tom, Chad, second. The next thing and then is a potential new membership benefit of life leadership. Oh, I'm sorry. All in favor of the budget? Aye. All opposed?
Someone made a motion to approve the budget.
Yes.
Awesome.
So then next, the new member benefit life leadership.
So what that program basically is a program where that if you all the members, they would get a discount off the regular price if they want to use the program. But it's adding information to their company on having access to a leadership platform with leadership information they can tie in each month as a subscription. They have a library where they can tie in the videos if they're dealing with things personally or business-wise. You have a library resource of how to deal with those situations. You have available to what's like a Pandora radio for business building, where you would actually, it's like a Pandora radio. Yeah.
Has Debbie reviewed this?
No.
Does Debbie review most of our member benefit packets?
She's aware of it, but yeah.
Right.
So, but then also it gets you to a Power Sales University, which is great training for help you sales. It also gets you into a foreign language. You know, foreign language, you can have the same price. So you're starting to hire other, if you just want to learn another language, you can learn that also at the same price. So just offering that to the, as a membership benefit that we get that information out to help everybody go personally.
What is the discount?
the discount's $10, and that's gonna be donated to the, my thought was, as soon as we get the scholarship program, up and running, that I would make, and anybody who signs up, make a donation to the scholarship of $10. But it still has to be, to the life business, still has to be the same amount, but I would personally make that donation of anybody who signed up to the scholarship program, so.
Initial cost is the
To me,
initial cost for this
115,
per year.
no, per month.
Yeah.
The subscription per month, yes. So you can use it per month, you can use it for a month. There's people that, already in our industry are using it, monthly, to help with their businesses already.
Is this costing you build anything to offer this scholarship?
Nothing.
Sounds fishy. I don't know. Anything free, I don't know.
I think this is Greg's personal way of trying to help, and he actually believes in this. He's been talking about it for a couple of years now. Makes sense to me. Free benefit members, doesn't cost us anything.
Debbie does all this all the time and reviews these things all the time for us. That's what she does for us, isn't it?
Yes.
I would like to get her opinion about it before I made any type of vote or motion on it.
And I'll talk to them about it.
Okay,
That's
so
just my personal thought.
Did you share it and table it another time?
Well, I'll just say that the board doesn't typically vote on each member benefits, vetted through Debbie and then Debbie, so it doesn't require.
I think it's a great idea, and Debbie should go along for it. We should pursue it.
I've listened to several of the recordings, and they're good.
Perfect.
Cool.
All right. Next, we're going to go over to convention planning, celebrating the 40th. Kind of a big year.
You got a big keynote.
Big keynote speaker. Tell us about your keynote speaker, Jeremy.
Oh, you can tell the crowd who it is. You remember the name?
I had it written down.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Larry Winkett.
Larry Wingett. So that's exciting. Yeah, and he's been very gracious. He's very intrigued by our industry, thanks to CSIA President Mark Stoner, who's been working with Larry Wingett to improve his public speaking and help out with his books that he's writing, things of that nature. And we're going to have so for the 40th, we're having an excellent keynote, and that would be him. And he's been on many different TV shows, and we'll be doing a lot of promotion, showing people, because I do have a handful of people who haven't ever read his books or anything, but I think once they see how high-powered speaker does it, I think we might have the bar raised on a lot of stuff. But that being said, there's also going to be a gift for all the attendees, and we'll leave that to wonder at this point. So.
Super. Anything else on the exciting for the 40th you want to talk about now, or?
Now, obviously, staff is working on the convention planning and trying to make the 40th as special as possible. And we start our official convention planning meetings next week. But I just wanted to open it up to the board, not that you have to give ideas or suggestions now, but if you think of things, you think, wow, that would be really cool to do, to honor, to have. We were also even considering, because it is the 40th, maybe not doing formal entertainment at the banquet, because there's going to be so many things within the industry and the guild to honor and recognize that we probably don't need that filler necessarily. I'm just throwing that out there as an idea. And I'll, your thoughts on that are welcome.
We could do an inspirational thing. I think you talked about right before the banquet, having City Bob. How about having City Bob do a 20-minute blurb, 30-minute blurb at the banquet, just kind of going over, last stuff, and then bring a lot of people up. And
I think it would be wise if you brought in as many of the past presidents as you could,
Mhm.
and have each of them talk about how things have changed.
yeah, I like how Ron had brought everybody up to the stage last year. That was neat. I got a lot of good comments about that. So, yeah, why don't we get together and try to organize that banquet, and we'll, yeah, instead of bringing in formal entertainment, we'll kind of have a reflection of the last 40 years.
There's a few people around that are still some of the original members of the original building. So
Well, and we've got one member that is, I think, has been to every single convention.
That's right. Terry.
Terry.
That's been a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill Clinton's missed a couple.
But Terry, yeah, every single
Can we
one.
invite
It's like never missing a day of school.
Can we send a special invitation to like Pete Luter's wife Emily and to maybe Patsy Meisinger? Just, you know, I don't know.
We can
You
do
know.
it. We can do anything.
Well,
Just write it down and let's throw it into a pot and we'll get it figured out, right?
Correct.
Any
I'm
ideas?
not recommending we offer to pay for their way there or anything like that.
No,
Just send them a special
inviting
invitation
people,
saying that, you know, we're doing this, yeah.
Dennis? Oh, sorry, I'm had it. Sorry, I'll shut up.
Dennis?
See, this is why we're doing this, to break Jeremy's umbilical cord.
As far as John Boyan, and his untimely death, I know that John was a single man, and I know that being around John, especially at some of the meetings we've had in the past, I know that he didn't really have a family member that ever came to him, with him to any of these events. And I don't know if there's a way of inviting, or, you know, a family member to be there just to see what John, you know, the part of the family that John belonged to, you know, and how he was appreciated. And I know that other guys that have passed away, you know, of course, their wife or their children have shown up, but you know, that's just a thought.
You know, John was a pretty emotional guy.
Yeah.
And at the last convention, he actually got a little teary-eyed and told me, "This is my family." Literally.
And I know that last year I got put on the spot about speaking and heard, and I was very unprepared for it. It worked out well. The only reason it worked out well was because Herb's wife walked in, who I'd never met before, and then when I heard someone say Mrs. Fulmer, I immediately, you know, since we got out of the line there with greeting everyone, I went over to her and spent about 15, 20 minutes talking to her, and that's the only information, you know, except for my experiences with him that I had to go on. But I do know that John's family, I've never seen a family member show up there with John. If nothing else, maybe from that event, maybe we can turn around and make a plaque. If you know, I would suggest if we can't get a family member there, maybe we can make a plaque and then, you know, with what we call it, and we'll make it right here. Because he was a Region 4 director, which was the Southeast at that time, or earlier in the day. But, you know, I think that's legal.
We did something like that for Dale, I think, and we did something like that for Pete, for Emily and Patsy. Yeah, so it's not something we haven't done in the past.
So anyway, not trying to put a dark cloud over anything, but I mean, you know, if you're reflecting, even those who made small contributions compared to everyone else, you know, should be recognized in some way. And it was very fortunate, John's passing. So.
You know, it's interesting because we just had another person pass away. Was it Leah Marie?
She's the wife of the sweep.
Wife of the sweep, and you know, he had 3 kids, and you know, something we did at the New York workshop was I had a little donation thing set up for that would all, you know, if we want to sign up to do a sweep for the family, you know, and so instead of flooding, the question came up like, instead of flooding, you know, 100 sweeps come in and we send them with a check, do we have anything set up for here that the money sent here, and then one check sent out, or anything like that? Because, you know, it's gonna happen more and more, and in our community here, as it grows, and, is there a way of doing like, hey, this person passed away, can we do a script for the
I
family?
have Megan address that. There's tax IRS consequences with the money coming here and going out, so.
I will take it. Traditionally, in these cases, we set up GoFundMe's. People have done it on their own, but the money, when it comes here, and we're holding it, and then it goes out to the family, that becomes an entirely different accounting, tax situation, legal situation than if people do it on their own as a community. In the one case of John Bordelon, we raised for the tile. The money was coming to CSIA as a 501c3 for the purpose of putting the tile on our building. So that's why the donations were available to go to Megan. In the cases where the check is going to be written to a widow or a descendant or something like that, it needs to be kind of a grassroots effort.
We certainly promote it.
Yes, we're certainly happy to share those things on Facebook and on social media and promote them. I know Tom and I have put those kinds of things in sweeping and helped with those fundraisers, but we cannot actually handle the money without having a formal setup for that, and that involves legal, tax codes, and also a formal determination of what qualifies you for money, which I don't know if something we really want to get into, picking, what happens to you and what qualifies your family or you if you're injured for money. It's easier if it's
We
grassroots.
put something like, this person passed away, if you want to make a donation, send it there, that's something.
I'm happy to share a link where people have set up, the guild, state guild or whatever, somebody set up a fundraiser for the family donate here. That's totally cool. Just Megan and I can't take the money and
What
write
was
a check.
it Mark did, a GoFundMe site?
Okay, but let me tell you, it's a whole lot better to have a specific person to send it to. GoFundMe sites are great, but they're like 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
That's what they take off the top.
Yeah.
I mean, they take a lot of money off the top, where if you can just get the address of who the widow is or whatever, send the money straight to the families is my recommendation.
Many years ago, I believe we were, I might have been in some Salem, it might have been somewhere else, but anyway, I had an idea for a charity. I was talking to John Meredith, and for some reason, the name came to me as Sweeps Luck Charities. Luck would be love, understanding, Christian families. And it would be, something of this nature, to where if someone passes away, have to go there, or if someone falling in hard times, maybe had an accident, then, I don't know if it ever transpired or something. It's just an idea I've always had in the back of my mind. It's part of industry, and that sometimes, it's supposed to be good luck to, Jim's supposed to be good luck, but yet sometimes when you fall in hard times, you have to have somebody.
The next thing we have is our next meeting date is going to be a board meeting, November 9th, 10 a.m. at noon. Till noon. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
Just so everyone knows, that's this side of the city. And then could we please go into a closed session?
You want to take a quick?
You want to take a quick?
Any new business?
Anybody have any other new business?
And not clean.
The only thing I didn't share earlier, in North Carolina, I understand along the coast of North Carolina, there are more, or there's somebody that's doing unprofessional work and putting homeowners at risk and putting them in hazardous situations. And it's making our industry look bad. And I had some sweeps bring that to me. And basically what I said at that point was, we like to hear about this and we like to know what's going on, but we are not the Chimney police. That the South Carolina Guild got involved in something many years back, and so I don't know how things have changed to where they are, but my understanding is we should be referring people to the Attorney General's office or to the Better Justice Bureau, or to those type of organizations who can police the situation. And operating officials. Right.
I wrote a letter I think Angie's list, because they were actually promoting that particular person at the time.
Okay.
And had a long conversation with them. I think it helped hearing from someone outside of the area instead of just thinking that his local competitors were complaining.
Well, that's why I
And
like to
he
share.
disappeared instantly.
That's a good
just
idea.
from them. So, but yeah, that stuff needs to be reported to local authorities as well. He was something special.
It's important that the members know that we're not gonna just leave them in the dirt, but there is a process to everything in life. We can't wave a magic wand and take care of the problem for you. But I've offered to, write letters and stuff, but they have to gather proof. And Facebook is part of that proof, but you also have to have the victims and stuff like that. So there's a process to everything. I used to have to deal with this a lot with ethics committee stuff when people wanted to say this guy's doing bad, that guy's doing bad. I'd say, look, here's the process. Let's get this rolling. You say it's happening, but I can't wave a magic wand. It's like saying you murdered somebody, but we don't have the knife, we don't have the gun, and we don't have proof.
Every single one of us runs into a conflict of opinion on how to fix a certain chimney. There was overwhelming evidence and videos that this particular person shot it himself. It was too easy to mark and delete.
Hopefully that doesn't shut itself in the foot and we'll solve our problems. I just thought I'd bring it to everybody to share, and that way if others of us hear about other issues going on in our regions, we have some type of format that we understand where we go as a board.
Well, maybe put that out and speak it again, the procedure of what you need to do. Because you guys were dealing with the scammers up north, and that was kind of quiet at the York workshop. I mean, it wasn't.
Well, I think the problem is when someone says they're a member of the guild, or they have certified in their advertising, then they show up, they do kind of a bad job. And then one of our members says, hey, look at this. But then I'll call Debbie, and Debbie will say, well, someone is certified with the company, but we don't know if they were or not. So someone has to document who actually put the liner in, why it was bad, and then prove it to us.
And I think that's a business decision of the company too.
Yeah.
So how I install something, how you install something might be our own business decisions.
Yeah.
Mark just wrote something up online defining when this certified sweep must be on the job site. And there are a number of companies where the person that does the sweeping inspection is certified, but the repair crew necessarily isn't, but then it needs to be re-inspected by the sweep again. So, I think personally it's best to have someone certified on the job site all the time. And we all should get there eventually and encourage that, but there's some nitpicking and there's some being certified isn't guaranteed the job can get done right either.
Is it still where the sweep on site needs to actually sign his name to the actual ticket?
Well, then your attorneys are going to want every piece of paper you ever filled out signed anyways by your employees, so it's good for in-house paperwork anyway. Are we ready to move? Okay, can we go to a closed session?
So the closed session, obviously, the cameras need to go off. Would it be a good idea to go ahead and basically tell the viewers that we're going to be closing out the meeting right after the closed session? The reason we're going to closed session is it has to do with employee handbook stuff, and for a million reasons we can't talk about that on a video recording
So
chat.
after we come back, we're just simply going to be formally adjourning the movie. Meeting.
The movie will be over.
Okay. So if they want to hang around for that, they're welcome to, but that's really all that's going to be remaining. So at this time.
So shut everything down, or just shut down volume and cover things?
Shut down everything.
We're in the recording. So the recording won't come back.
That way there's no mistakes.